Hey there, all you good readers, you. It's Grandma JuJu with a story. And I need to tell you, I recorded this story yesterday. And I posted it on our Grandma JuJu and Papa's website or YouTube channel. And then as I was putting the book away, I was looking through it and I realized I'd forgotten to read a page. So I just deleted it off our channel and I'm reading it again today. It's called Good Night, Good Night. I'll try to do better this time. We'll see. Once there were 3 little dragons and they lived in a dark cave. The cave was in a dense forest and the forest was in a faraway kingdom. The poor little dragons were very lonely in their deep, dark cave. Here they are. They're lonely. In the kingdom there was a good knight, and every night he kept watch. He watched from a crumbly-tumbly tower. It was on top of a very tall wall. There he is, keeping watch. One night, the good knight was on his watch, and he heard a very large, very loud roar. What could it be? So the good knight left the crumbly-tumbly tower. He climbed down the tall wall, and he jumped on his horse. Away, he said. And he galloped through the king's forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He's got to go find out what this is. He came to the deep, dark cave, and inside he saw the first little dragon. What's this? He asked. Methinks this is a dragon. And he drew his shimmery, glimmery sword. The dragon had on his jammies, and he was all ready for bed. Oh, good, you have come, said the dragon. Could you bring me a drink of water, please? Then I can go to sleep. Here he is in his jammies, trying to get ready for bed. The good knight did not know what to think, but he was a good knight, so he got a drink of water and he gave it to the dragon. Gulp, 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 gulp. Then he tucked him into bed. Good night, good dragon, sleep well, sleep tight, said the good knight, and he galloped off. He gave him a drink and tucked him into bed. The good knight went back through the king's forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He got off his horse, thud, and he climbed the tall wall to the crumbly-tumbly tower, and there he stood on watch. He stood on watch for 5 minutes, and then he heard another very large, very loud roar. Another one? I don't believe this, he said. He left his crumbly-tumbly tower, climbed down the very tall wall, and jumped on his horse. Away, he cried, and he galloped through the king's forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop, and he came to the deep, dark cave. There he is. He's going back to the cave. The second dragon was in her jammies. She was all ready for bed. Oh, good, you have come, said the second dragon. Could you read me a story, please? Then I can go to sleep. She's in her jammies. She'd like a bedtime story. And could I have another drink of water? Said the first dragon. The good knight did not know what to think, but he was a good knight, so he read the dragon a story. Then he tucked her into bed. Reading a story, snuggled her to bed. He got the first dragon another drink of water, then tucked him into bed. Good night, good dragon, sleep well, sleep tight, said the good knight, and he galloped away. The good knight went back through the king's forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He got off his horse, thud, and he climbed up the very tall wall to the crumbly-tumbly tower, and there he stood on watch. He stood on watch for 2 minutes, and then he heard another very large, very loud roar. He was only there for 2 minutes. This is too much, he said. He left the crumbly-tumbly tower, climbed down the very tall wall, and he jumped on his horse. Away, he cried, and he galloped through the king's forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He came to the deep, dark cave, and the third dragon had on his jammies. He was ready for bed. Oh, good. You have come, said the third dragon. Could you sing me a song, please? Then I can go to sleep. Here he is. All he wanted was a song. And could you read me another story? Said the second dragon. And could you get me another drink of water? Said the first dragon. The good knight did not know what to think, but he was a good knight, so he sang the dragon a song and tucked him into bed. He read the second dragon another book and tucked her into bed. He got the first dragon another drink of water. Then he tucked him into bed. Good night, good dragon, sleep well, sleep tight, said the good knight. Then he galloped away. Everybody's tucked into bed. The good knight went back through the king's forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He got off his horse, thud, and he climbed up the very tall wall to the crumbly-tumbly tower. There he stood watch. He stood on watch for 1 minute, and then he heard the loudest, largest roar of all. Not again, he said. Ah! He left the crumbly-tumbly tower, climbed down the very tall wall, jumped on his horse. Away, he cried. He galloped through the king's forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He came to the deep, dark cave. Oh, good, you have come, said all 3 dragons. All 3. I wonder what they want. Do you know? Let me guess, said the good knight. Another drink of water? No, said the first dragon. Another story? No, said the second dragon. That's not what they wanted this time. What could it be? Another song? No, said the third dragon. Well, then what do you want? Said the good king. He didn't know. Do you? We need a goodnight kiss, said the little dragons, and they lifted their scaly little cheeks. This is going too far, said the good knight. Do you think he's going to give him a goodnight kiss? But he was a good knight, so he bent and kissed each scaly little cheek. Good night, good dragons, sleep well, sleep tight, he said. The dragons said, good night, good night. So he gave them each a kiss and tucked them each into bed. The good knight left the cave. He waited outside. He heard the loud dragon snores. Probably kind of like Papa's snores. Then the good knight went home through the king's forest. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. He got off his horse. Thud. Now, said the good knight, maybe I can get a good night's sleep. And that is just what he did. Sleep well, sleep tight, good night. Finally, he's getting to go to sleep. So the little dragons were all ready for bed, but they needed something first. A drink, a story, a song, and most important, a goodnight kiss. So whatever you need when you're going to sleep, I hope you get it. Have a great day, guys. And I remember to read every page. Yay! Love you guys. Bye.